A new study by the Urban Institute says more than 35% of Americans have unpaid bills which have been reported to collection agencies. According to the report, consumers are behind on a range of bills, from credit card debt to student loans to medical bills. Gennady Litvin is a debt and foreclosure lawyer, and he joins us here in our New York studios to talk about this. Hey, Gennady, welcome to Arise America. Appreciate you being here. Really do appreciate it. So first of all, let's talk about this report. A full 35%, 1 in 3 people have debt that's turned over to a collection agency. First of all, what do you make of that? What's your reaction to that statistic?
Well, it really seems as if the economy is still on its progress to evolve. Since the recession in 2009, I think college graduates were coming out into the worst job market out there. So when you think about college grads coming out unable to find work, or if they did find work, they found work to be paying a lot less than what they should be receiving, their credit accounts are going to be really exhausted. So that has a lot to do with it.
I'm wondering, though, Gennady, if over time the guidelines, the criteria for debt to be turned over to a collection agency has evolved and changed, because I read somewhere that credit card debt is the lowest in a decade, but yet this rate of collection agencies taking debt has remained steady throughout that period. How do you explain that?
Well, being a collection agency and being a debt buyer is a very profitable business. You can purchase debt on the market in these notes for pennies on the dollar. And many times these debts have already been disqualified. One way or the other, this debt, or the creditor that initially held this debt, has been already made whole, whether it's through tax payouts or through some sort of payments that the consumer themselves made. Now you've got a third or fourth party debt buyer trying to collect on an amount that the original creditor most likely already paid out. They're trying to make usually around 100% profit on their purchase.
So this is as much about a big business that is burgeoning here.
Huge business.
Incredible. But the fact is, though, for consumers, though, having their debt turned over to a collection agency affects their credit rating, does it not?
Absolutely. But what people need to understand is that debt collectors, debt collection agencies, it's not the end of the world. It's not the big bad wolf coming after you. There is life after collection. You still can come to some sort of a settlement agreement or to any type of resolution with the creditor, the collection agency, and start to rebuild your credit. Credit nowadays, there are many banks, many institutions lending money, giving credit out to people with subpar credit. You can rebuild. You can rebuild your family and your financial future. You just have to get on that path.
I want to come to that in just one second, but first let me ask you about, and I've even had personal experience with this as it relates to medical bills. When I had my daughter, you know, the insurance didn't cover something at first that they should have, and while the insurance company was working out with the hospital, it automatically went to a collection agency. So when there is a quote-unquote mistake like this, can you remedy that to prevent it reflecting poorly on your credit rating?
Is it possible? Absolutely. Is it going to be easy? Absolutely not. Just on the way over here, I was speaking to a colleague of mine that had an emergency that they went to a hospital for. Gave him the insurance cards. Hospital didn't send the proper notification to the insurance company. Now the hospital is chasing my colleague and his family for these medical bills. It happens. Whether the insurance company pays for all or none of it, the collection agency is going to begin to pursue you. But like I said, they're not the big bad wolf. You can come to a resolution with them. They want to get paid.
So you can negotiate with them.
Negotiations happen with these creditors all the time. You just have to know that it's possible. Don't act emotionally. Act as if it's a business decision. You need to get out as cheap as possible.
I wish we could all be as calm about this as you are. Gennady Litvin, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Debbie.